to face those two big boppers.
Well, Casey McGee comes in riding a 7-game hitting streak. The Brewers' leadoff man doing a nice job for Milwaukee, batting .357. And Sowers fires it in there for a first pitch strike. 70 degrees our game time temperature here in downtown Cleveland. Shoots it back to the screen. Account quickly 0-2. Casey McGee is another one of those perfect examples. One man's trash is another man's treasure. He was claimed off waivers from the Chicago Cubs by Milwaukee at the end of last year. Now Sowers with the 0-2 pitch. Wanted to run it up high, and he fouls it back.
You know, that's quite a rivalry when you get Milwaukee and Chicago. The Cubbies, you know, only 90 miles away. And, you know, they have fans go to both parks. Used to be that way when Milwaukee was in the American League, and the White Sox. Mm-hmm. On the south side of Chicago was a great rivalry.
Pitch is down low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Back in 1983, when the White Sox won the division that year in the West, the Brewers, you know, they went to the World Series in 1982, so they had some terrific matchups.
Now the 1-2 pitch in the dirt. Well, wasn't it just, was it last year, 2 years ago, when the Cubs and the Astros had those games that were moved out of Houston, and they moved them to Milwaukee?
Right, and there was a no-hitter.
There were home games for Houston.
Right.
And they were saying, wait a minute, this is right down the road from Chicago.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's supposed to be a home game for them. It turned out to be a home game for the Cubs. The 2-2 just missed, and the count goes full.
Well, we played a couple home games in Milwaukee as well. Matter of fact, 3 of them against the Angels.
Milwaukee's become
2007.
A home for wayward teams. Here's the payoff pitch. Popped in the air. Right field. Shin-Soo Choo. He's got it 1 away. Tonight's injury report brought to you by the law firm of Nuremberg, Paris, Ohio's injury lawyers since 1928. Call 1-800-399-2300. Aaron Laffey will be making a rehab start. Jake Westbrook, a slight setback in his comeback in that he experienced a little elbow soreness after his last outing. But Eric Wedge saying, you know, up to this point, he hasn't had any setbacks at all, so we expected something like this to occur at some point. You may have noticed David Ariski, former Indians reliever, on the 60-day DL for the Brewers. He had a sore elbow that ultimately required the season-ending Tommy John surgery. Bill Hall looks at a ball inside to even the count at 1-1. Hall, one of a number of struggling Brewers hitters, just 7 hits in his last 71 at-bats.
Well, that's what you call a prolonged slump. You know, and this Milwaukee team to me seems like they're a team that's like all or nothing. They live on the long ball. They really do. They're second in the National League with 74 homers. And when they're getting it, I mean, they're tough to beat. They can put up some big numbers, and they can come back in a hurry, as we witnessed last night. But, you know, as far as manufacturing and putting things together, right now they're struggling with hitting with runners in scoring position and things like that. And they're not a team that runs a lot and steals a lot of bases. They only have 20 stolen bases as a team.
Swung on and missed. And Sowers gets a strikeout, 2 down.
He came right at him, didn't mess around. Good part of the plate. And there's the fastball. Throws it by Bill Hall.
He looks a little tardy on the fastball.
Yes, he does. He looks like you're exactly right.
2 down here for Ryan Braun. He is not tardy on anything that has been thrown his way lately. Comes in with a .319 season average. 3 for 5 in last night's game.
Well, he's not a very big guy, but I'll tell you, he can generate a lot of bat speed. For a power hitter, he runs pretty well. Had a triple in last night's game. Stayed on the ball and hit it right down the right field line.
Back to the mound. Sowers fields it cleanly and throws him out. Milwaukee goes 1-2-3. And now the Indians come to the plate with Mark DeRosa leading the way. Progressive Insurance, proud to be the official auto insurance provider of the Cleveland Indians. Luis Valbuena leads it off, then Mark DeRosa, Victor Martinez, Chu, Garco, and Hafner in the middle. Chris Jimenez, Ben Francisco, and Josh Barfield round it out. Giovanni Gallardo's first pitch of the night in there for a called strike. Gallardo, the Milwaukee ace, 6 wins, 3 losses, and an ERA of under 3. Misses down low with the fastball, and he'll run that fastball up there in the low to mid-90s. He'll also cut the fastball, and he's got a very impressive sharp breaking ball. There it is.
Yeah, that's one, though, he's never faced. The only hitter he's faced on the Indians is DeRosa. So the first time through this lineup, it would help if you get a look at everything that he's got if you're a hitter. You don't want to make an out early in the count, unless you're just sitting dead red and you get your pitch and hit it hard somewhere.
Swung on and missed. And Valbuena strikes out.
Let's take care of the Milwaukee defense. We have a chance. In the outfield, it's going to be Braun, Cameron, and Hart. On the infield, Hall at third, Hardy at short, McGee at second, Fielder at first, Kendall behind the plate. And Giovanni Gallardo making his 13th start, 6-3, a brilliant 288 earned run average. Opposition against him is hitting a minuscule 189. Brewers are 8-4 in his starts this year. And a guy that missed most of the year with a couple of knee injuries.
Yeah, last year he had a torn meniscus, and he came back from that and then had an ACL blowout.
Yeah, so on different knees. So, I mean, he was tied up, but he's back again, and he was their best pitcher, and they counted on him.
Came back at the end of the season, made his last regular season start, and then was able to pitch in the playoffs, but obviously he was not the guy that he is right now.
Imagine if they would have had him to go along with CC and then Sheets as well.
His absence was obviously the big reason Milwaukee went out and made the trade to acquire CC Sabathia. Now the 2-1.
Oh, yeah.
Good breaking ball, and it evens it up at 2-2.
When that breaking ball starts eye high, you better let it fly. But when he starts it around the waist, you got to let it go. Watch, there's it is, eye high, and it drops right into the strike zone. That's a tough pitch to get called sometimes when you get it down in the zone.
Fastball hit pretty well to right field. Back goes Hart, still going back on the track, and it is gone to Souvenir City. Mark DeRosa His third hit in the series, his second home run, puts the Indians on top 1-0.
How hot is this guy?
Well, he's hit now in 6 straight games.
Boy,
Rick.
oh boy, his 13th home run, team leading. And, you know, the other way, he just stayed on that fastball after he sees a good breaking ball and just pokes it out to right field. And that had a little carry to it. It's our Pepsi home run replay. Look at that. He tried to sneak the fastball by him, and DeRosa says no. To be denied. He just stayed on that ball. He tracked it, let it get deep into the zone, and gets it out, and the Indians will take an early lead.
No, he put the barrel of the bat on the baseball right
there.
there.
He sure did.
And the Indians are breaking a season-long trend now, scoring early in the game. Something they were unable to do with any regularity, but had a couple of runs in the first inning last night, a couple of runs in the first inning the night before.
And then it was like a month before that, wasn't it?
Now the 0-1 to Victor Martinez, misses inside to even the count. Victor, over his last 8 games, has 9 hits with a couple of homers and 9 runs batted in. That breaking ball catches the corner for a strike, and the count is 1-2.
You know, for Gallardo, that was the 9th home run given up by him this year. And, you know, usually it'll probably be that fastball because he tries to, he'll throw it, keep it down in the zone, move it in and out.
Mark DeRosa has now homered in 3 straight games going back to the series finale against the Cardinals. And more than half of his homers have either tied the game or put the Indians in front.
We've said that for a while. When he hits them, it's at the right time.
Now the 1-2 to Martinez. There's that breaking ball. He's able to lay off. That's the one you were saying, if it's low,
let it go.
Let it go.
And that's what he'll probably do, try to bury and see how many swings and misses he can get at it when he's ahead in the count. Now, earlier in the count, he may, like he did to DeRosa, he'll start it up a little higher just for a get-me-over curveball, strike 1. He's got a very good changeup as well.
2-2 pitch fouled back. Giovanni Gallardo was born in Mexico. Came to the United States and graduated from Trimble Tech High School in Texas. And was a second-round pick in 2004 by the Brewers. Victor again lays off, and the count goes full. So the Indians here, at least at the outset, look to be fairly disciplined with that breaking ball, not chasing it.
Well, it's been, right now to this point, fastball, curveball. I haven't seen that changeup yet, and Victor would be a guy you would want to throw that changeup to because he loves the fastball.
Or even the cut fastball, which I don't think we've seen yet either.
Another breaking ball.
He lays off. It's ball 4. Gallardo averages almost 4 walks per 9 innings and 9 strikeouts.
Well, the last few guys to hit, you got DeRosa, Martinez, and Chu, 2, 3, and 4 that are all swinging the bat very well right now.
Here is Shin-Soo Choo. 2 for 4 with a homer in last night's game. You mentioned at the outset that Chu seems to be back in a good groove where he's driving the baseball. You seen anything technically that would?
No, I mean I really haven't, because you know he has a good eye and he tries to swing at strikes. You know, so there's just times when you get into a groove where it seems like everything you hit, or maybe pitchers are getting more of the plate for him. But, you know, a lot of times he'll take that ball the other way and try and drive it into left center field. He stays on it. He's really, I think, done a very nice job in the number 4 hole, quietly, when you're a young player like that, because normally Eric wouldn't put the pressure on a young player like that. But he's held his own.
Fastball missed low, 2-1 the count. Chu is 6th in the American League in walks, having drawn 40 free passes. And that has helped him to the 5th best on-base percentage in the league.
That's what his on-base percentage has always been, very high. And, you know, when you can do that, you mix in a hit, and if you're not swinging good, like, you know, he's going through a spell and you get a walk, you go 1 for 3, or you may be 0 for 2 or 0 for 3, and you don't take that, you know, 0 for 4.
Well, there's another walk for Chu, and Gallardo has walked 2 in a row.
Well, you got to like the approach so far with the first 4 hitters in the ball game against this guy.
Jason Kendall out to talk with Gallardo, and he may be delivering the message, hey, don't forget about being aggressive. You've got a good fastball here. Seen a lot of off-speed pitches so far.
Well, for never facing anybody other than DeRosa, I would think, you know, don't be afraid to establish that fastball, because everything else comes, you know, is set up off of that.
50-50 mix so far, 11 strikes, 11 balls. And Ryan Garko steps in with 2 on and 1 out. The Indians already up 1-0. There's a line drive, deep foul left side. That had plenty of distance, but just out in front of it.
That might have been the changeup. I think he finally came back with the first changeup that I saw. And that changeup might have been, is that another slider? Had to look like it might have had some spin to it.
Yeah, it sure did. Tried to front door breaking ball and missed with it.
A lot of curveballs to this point. I mean, I know he may have a good curveball, but he right now does not have a feel for it. It's all over the place. So the hitters, I mean, they're not, after not facing this guy before, they're not going to swing at that pitch early in the count.
High in the air, right field near the line. Hart with a long run, and he ran out of room. So Ryan Garko with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Two on with 1 away here in the first. Garko has driven in a dozen over his last 21 games. And he's got a chance to add to the Indians' lead here in the first. Travis Hafner waits on deck. Martinez, the runner at second, with Chu down at first. In the dirt, and a good eye by Ryan Garko evens the count now at 2-2. Indians have won 6 out of their last 10. Milwaukee, despite losing 6 of their last 8, leads the National League Central by a game. And the 2-2. Fastball just missed, and Gallardo wanted that one.
Well, you know, Gallardo averages just a hair over 16 pitches per inning. That was pitch number 27, just a hair inside. Didn't get the call from C.B. Buckner, so he's got to come back. It's a full count now.
And the payoff pitch is popped back.
Oh, just
in front of us. Yeah.
I didn't see you get up to try and make a play for it, but you fell.
Too far to my left.
Okay.
I don't go to my left very well.
Yes, you do. I've watched you play before. You just got a stiff neck today. See what happens? Give you a couple days off. You come back hurt.
So another 3-2 pitch to Ryan Garko from Gallardo. And it's ball 4. He's walked 3 in a row to load the bases. Take a look at our great clip of the game from last night. Travis Hafner going down and digging one out.
Well, and that's after he swung at 2 breaking balls prior to that sliders in. He swung and missed, looked badly on it, went with one more. Got a little too much of the plate, and Hafner hit him for a 3-run homer.
Relax, you're at Great Clips. So Bill Castro, the pitching coach, out for an early word here with Gallardo, and I don't imagine there have been too many times this year where he's been out to talk to him in the first inning.
Well, no. I mean, he's only given up the one hit. After the home run from DeRosa, it's 3 straight walks. And for Jason Kendall, who's a veteran catcher and he calls an excellent game, he's had him throwing a lot of curveballs.
Now, as I mentioned, Gallardo averages almost 4 walks per 9 innings, but he's never walked more than 4 in any one game this year. And now here's Hafner with a 4-game hitting streak, 6 for his last 15. And a first pitch breaking ball in the dirt.
Wow. You know, never getting a chance to see this guy pitch. I mean, maybe he throws a lot of curveballs. Obviously, he must because they continue to call for it. But there you go. 2 allowed in the first inning. Indians have a chance to open up a big door right here.
Really set the tone. The 1-0.
There you go.
Takes a strike to even the count. Travis Hafner coming off a 3-hit performance last night. His second 3-hit game this year. He did not have a 3-hit game all of last season.
Well, and Travis, a guy that, you know, he's in here he can play 2 games in a row, and then he's off for the 3rd day. So regardless of what he does here.
Hall, the third baseman, backhands it to second for 1. And the relay not in time at first. So the Indians pick up a run as Martinez scores. It's 2-0 Cleveland as Hafner gets his 14th RBI on the year.
Well, catch a break there as well. That's a double play ball that Hall gets and bobbled. And then by the time he can backhand it over there with the shift they had on, it looked like that Hardy was covering at second base. And they couldn't turn it because of the bobble and the backhand. So the Indians will score another run. It'll make it 2-0.
Well, he was lucky to get his foot back on the base.
The momentum going to first is what pushed it there.
So the putout goes 5-6. First and third now with 2 down for Chris Jimenez. And he looks at a ball down low. Chris Jimenez 0 for his last 8. 2 of his 3 hits have been for homers, as you see there, including his first major league hit against the Twins. Swings through it. 1-1 the count.
Well, both home runs have come off fastballs that he's gotten on in a hurry. And, you know, here's a young player, a rookie that's going to get up here, and they'll throw him some fastballs. It's the ones you don't want to foul off or miss. Take advantage of it when you get it.
Gallardo trying to limit the damage here after loading the bases with 1 out. Challenged him with another good fastball, and the count 1-2. Giovanni Gallardo has struck out 78 in 78 2/3 innings on the year. High pop, back and out of play. The Indians have scored 343 runs this year. That's 3rd most in the American League. Only Tampa Bay and the New York Yankees have scored more than the Indians. Certainly was not the issue last night. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Gallardo strikes out a pair, but the Indians put 2 on the board and lead it 2-0 after 1. Official airline of the Cleveland Indians, Continental Airlines. Work hard, fly right. By McCafe Coffees at McDonald's, all made to order with fresh ground espresso beans. And by All Care Dental and Dentures, we make seeing the dentist easy. Back here at Progressive Field, it's 2-0 in favor of the Tribe as we go to the second inning of play. Prince Fielder, Corey Hart, and Mike Cameron to face Jeremy Sowers. And a first pitch strike to Fielder. Fielder leads the majors in runs batted in with 62. And when you consider, Rick, that since 07, Prince Fielder is second only to big Ryan Howard in home runs. Kind of hard to believe the last night was his first career grand slam.
Yeah, well, he had one of the longest streaks going with home runs without hitting a grand slam. Now, after last night, that falls to Orlando Cabrera. 107 games, or 107 homers without hitting a salami.
Which kind of makes sense because you don't think of Cabrera as being a big home run guy.
Well, he's hit 100. You know, and this guy had over 107. Finally, well, I watched earlier this year on Sunday Night Baseball against the Cubs. The bases were loaded. He hit one in Milwaukee, and Johnson went over the fence and brought it back and made a terrific catch, or that would have been a grand slam earlier.
Now the 2-2. Swung out and missed. And that's the second strikeout for Jeremy Sowers. And for Jeremy, he probably figures he struck him out twice.
Yeah. Well, if this is going to be a hitter strike zone, it could be another long night with CB back there. But there's a good breaking ball. Fielder chases it out of the zone. Got him to chase it. So first out.
Here's Corey Hart riding a 6-game hitting streak now for Milwaukee. You watch Corey Hart stand in there, and it's a little reminiscent of another former Indian and Brewer, Richie Sexson.
Yeah.
Although Richie was just a couple inches taller than Hart, who stands in at 6'6". Big chopper to third. DeRosa hits the in-between hop, throws him out. Let's get a look at tonight's Alltel text poll question of the game. Who do you think is the best first baseman in the National League? Prince Fielder of the Brewers, Albert Pujols of St. Louis, Ryan Howard in Philly, or Adrian Gonzalez of San Diego? Text your answer to 31962. Results coming up later in the game. Well, if you're talking about all around,
there's 4 good ones right there.
Mike Cameron, another one of the Brewer hitters who's having a tough go right now. 0 for his last 13, 3 for his last 38. And it's quickly 0-2.
Well, Jeremy 6 for 6 on first pitch strikes.
Sowers averaging 5 innings per start.
Well, that's something you'd love to see change and go deeper into the games. I mean, as a starting pitcher, at minimum, you'd like to go 6. If a manager had his choice, he'd love to see you go 7. Although that doesn't happen a lot.
Popped him up behind the plate and into the seats.
But that's why when they were talking to Jeremy and they wanted Jeremy to be more aggressive, don't waste pitches, go after and don't walk hitters. Pitched 5 great innings against the Yankees and ended up walking the bases loaded. Stay aggressive, throw strikes, and what happens fall into place.
He came into the game with 15 walks, 15 strikeouts.
Right. He's not a strikeout guy, but he's got to pitch to contact like that.
Weak roller to second, and a good second inning for Sowers. Brewers go 1-2-3, and the Indians lead it 2-0. Bottom of the second here at Progressive Field. 2-0 Tribe on top. Ben Francisco, Josh Barfield, and Luis Valbuena will bat for the Tribe. Giovanni Gallardo with a first ball fastball strike. Ben Francisco just trying to shake loose. He is one hit in his last 17 at bats.
Well, he was up in that leadoff spot for a while, and then gradually he's moved out. He's now down in that number 8 hole.
Fastball got him looking. Third strikeout for Gallardo, one down here in the second. Shop at Alvin's Jewelers for the big sale. You can save up to 81% on jewelry of your choice. Support a Cleveland-owned family jeweler. Visit alvinsjewelers.com for all their store locations. Here is Josh Barfield batting ninth tonight. Barfield did not play in last night's game, but in his opportunities, he has produced with 6 hits and 13 at-bats. Off-speed pitch, drops it in for a strike to even the count at 1-1. Pop back and out of play. Gallardo with the 1-2, and a fastball dots the corner. And that's 3 straight punch-outs for the Brewer right-hander. 2 down in the inning.
Well, maybe starting to lock in a little bit. Take advantage of the KeyBank Fun Bunch 4-packs. You get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, or 4 slices of pizza and 4 Pepsi products for as low as $51. The packages are a great way for the whole family to enjoy the game. Visit Indians.com or an Indians team shop to purchase the tickets.
Luis Valbuena looks at a ball up high. Valbuena is already the 5th different Cleveland Indian to bat leadoff for the Tribe this year.
Well, when you're used to having one of the best in the game, and he was struggling, they moved him out, he's hurt, he's not playing, you search to try and find somebody or some consistency, and that's one reason why the Indians have had problems early in the ball game to score runs.
Last year, there were 5 games in which Grady Sizemore did not bat leadoff, and those are games he didn't play in. Franklin Gutierrez led off in 3. David DeLucci led off in the other 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count on Valbuena, who was called out on strikes his first time up. Trying to snap an 0 for 13 skid. Breaking ball hit down the left field line, and it's a foul ball. Valbuena in the 9th inning last night against Trevor Hoffman scorched one to right field, but he hit it right at Corey Hart. Tribe on top 2-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Gallardo trying to strike out the side. And again, Valbuena spoils a pretty good pitch. Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, bases empty. Pops him up, right side. Fielder gives it a look, but he can't get to it. Valbuena on the year has 15 hits and 85 at-bats, which equates to a 176 average.
This is a guy that's going to get better with the at-bats he gets. He plays a nice shortstop and a good second base. He's just got to get used to this level. I mean, he's got a decent swing up there, and I think it's just a matter of time before he turns it around. You don't look at the average right now. You look at bats and see how he improves as the season goes on.
Payoff pitch. And a fastball laced into the right field corner. Valbuena on his way to second base.
His
and
specialty.
He's sliding in with a double.
His specialty.
10 of his 16 hits this year have been for extra bases.
You know, loves the double. He got on top of that high fastball there. Double number 9 this year, and watch him turn on it. He will get used to the strike zone. He'll get used to the pitchers, and you will see as the year goes on, his offense will definitely pick up. So gets into scoring position now with 2 outs.
For arguably their hottest hitter right now, Mark DeRosa.
You know, when we talked to Mark right before we were getting ready to go into interleague play, he had that game against Kansas City. He says, I'm sort of looking forward to the National League.
Some guys he knows
well,
and has
yeah,
seen before.
just familiarity. And he comes back in here, and he looks a little more confident, comfortable, doesn't he?
Well, the numbers certainly would speak to that. He's hit in 6 straight games now, 10 hits in his last 21 at-bats. He's homered in 3 straight. And in the month of June, really tearing it up. 2-0 the count. Make it 3-0. Mark DeRosa with 13 home runs now on the year. Leads the team in dingers. And it's a 4-pitch walk. Last night, Victor Martinez had a big night offensively, going 3 for 4 with a home run.
Picked on a hanging breaking ball from Dave Bush and hit it into the bullpen. And Victor, he's just been steady all year long.
And it was Martinez who walked against Gallardo his first time up.
And it was Bush who's given up 17 homers this year. They got him for a few last night.
Gallardo, who's already walked 4 tonight, equaling his season high. Two on, 2 out.
You know, it's funny. After that home run in the second inning from DeRosa, he walked 3 straight guys. You get the double from Valbuena, and he walked the next guy.
The 0-1. Chops it foul. And a count 0-2. Now Gallardo can try to expand the strike zone with that breaking ball.
They did. They really did the first time do a very good job of laying off that curveball out of the strike zone. That should only help him this time through.
And the 2-strike pitch. Breaking ball hit foul down the left side. Into the seats it goes.
You see where Victor's trying to stay on it, and then that's the breaking ball. Take it the other way. That would make him a little susceptible to that fastball in. He's changing his approach there, down with 2 strikes and a runner in scoring position, and that's exactly what you should do as a hitter.
Already 60 pitches for Gallardo.
They've done a nice job.
Let's see if Kendall and Gallardo try to. And I mean, is that something a catcher will see if a hitter fouls off that breaking
Sure, they
ball?
will. They're sitting there watching his feet. They know what he's looking for in the approach to what he's doing.
They're coming in.
See that? It went with a breaking ball, though.
And they strike him out. Indians get 2 on, but they leave him stranded. Gallardo strikes out the side. But the Indians still lead it 2-0. Well, we're moving to the third inning here at Progressive Field, and quite a disparity already in the number of pitches thrown. Gallardo has thrown 61 through 2 innings. Jeremy Sowers has needed just 26 to set down the Brewers in order in each of the first 2 innings. Bottom third of the order due up here for Milwaukee. Matt Gamble will lead it off, then J.J. Hardy and Jason Kendall. Gamble, the Brewers DH, just 23 years old. He'll turn 24 next month. 4th round pick back in 05.
Amazing. You know, normally you think you would take a veteran and let him DH because, you know, the National League doesn't DH, but they pick a kid.
Other options would have been like Frank Catalanato, left-handed though.
Yeah.
Craig Counsell, left-handed. You also have Jody Garrett, left-handed. And Rivera, the other catcher, so you're not likely to DH your only other catcher.
Exactly. That's true. I forgot that they got Jody from San Diego.
Strike to the outside corner, 2-1 to count. So it was really like, which left-handed hitter do I start when you're Ken Maka? You know? Another strike, evens the count at 2-2. Ken Maka, who always did such a good job in Oakland, but it always seemed like Billy Beane was ready to fire him at moment's notice. We can remember Oakland was always such a slow starting team.
Right.
And then they turn it on in the second half. Popped him into shallow center field. Here's Ben Francisco, one away. Get a look at our Subway fresh face of the game down on the farm for the Indians. Alexander Perez, a right-hander in Lake County, went 6 innings to get the win last night. He's 5-2 with a 2.88 ERA and selected to the All-Star team in the South Atlantic League. Subway, play hard, eat fresh. Here is J.J. Hardy, who looks at a ball down low. Hardy went 1 for 5 last night. And that one hit is his only hit in his last 32 at-bats.
Well, when you're in a slump like that and you finally get that first hit, it's such a sigh of relief. I mean, because that's some stretch when you go 30 at-bats before you get a hit.
This is hit pretty hard.
Another one.
Right center field, Chu on the run. Makes the grab, 2 down.
Well, that's just like the perfect, you know, situation and a great route run by Chu. And he's left-handed, so it's right in his, you know, it's like the receiver going right down the sideline, right into the alley. Hardy hit this ball right on the nose. But Chu got a very good jump, ran a very good route. Look at him, put his head down, go out there, and tracks it down.
Well, if I were his Brewer teammates, I'd be steering clear of J.J. Hardy right now.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to hear when you come in, hey, way to swing it.
Nice.
You hit that ball hard. Yeah, tough. Yeah, you don't say anything to him.
He got that hit last night, and then in his next at-bat, hit the ball hard, but made an out. And he went back to the bat rack, and he was ready to destroy anything in his path.
Yeah, that's okay. That's usually happens when you're going through something like that.
You wonder, what did I do? Did I step on a crack somewhere along the line? What did I do to deserve this? 1-2 the count on Jason Kendall, veteran catcher. Has a dozen hits in his last 12 games. Make it 13 in his last 13 games.
Well, he's a guy with that short swing and just takes it the other way. Just a singles hitter. Gets the very first hit off Jeremy Sowers tonight with 2 outs in the third. Well, we want you to fill a house for the Diabetes Association of Greater Cleveland. That'll be tomorrow night when the Indians close out the series against the Brewers. Every ticket sold, $1 will be donated to the charity. It's a season-long community outreach program and has already raised over $170,000 for the local charities.
Casey McGee steps in, flied out to right his first time up. McGee 3 out of 6 in the series. And the count goes to 1-0 as the pitch just a bit outside. This will be pitch number 40 on the night for Sowers. And a chopper to third. DeRosa will go the short way, and the inning is over. We'll head to the bottom of the third here at Progressive Field. It's Cleveland 2, Milwaukee nothing. All right, let's go to the bottom of the third here at Progressive Field. 2-0 Tribe on top. Shin-Soo Choo, Ryan Garko, and Travis Hafner will bat for the Indians. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning with you, joined now by Indians general manager Mark Shapiro. That is not all three. There we are.
Which one's which?
Yeah.
You were supposed to be with us last week. You blew us off.
Trying to be Rick
Then you
Manning
need one of
every
these
day.
shirts here.
I need a better tan, and I'm there.
Well, you got to get out of the office once in a while.
Ooh.
Well, you just concluded
You
the
don't
draft.
have to get outside to get your tan.
Well, I never used to. I am now.
Sprays that on.
All right, let's talk about baseball.
Yvonne Gallardo delivers a pitch inside to Shin-Soo Choo. Number of banged up players. Some guys are on the mend. Saw where Aaron Laffey making a rehab start. Jake Westbrook a slight setback in his comeback attempt.
Mm-hmm.
What's the latest on either of those two guys? Let's start there.
Well, Laff will pitch for Columbus on Thursday, so that's a big step for him. We're going to condition him to be a starter. Obviously, it's an area we feel like we need to get some starting depth, and we asked him to be it's a sacrifice for the team to go in the bullpen at a time we desperately need it, but we think he can help us in the rotation.
So he'll come back and definitely go into the rotation?
He will come back, and again, it's hard to forecast something that's going to happen 2 weeks from now, but that certainly looks like what we do. And Jake, has had zero glitches in his entire rehabilitation from Tommy John. Usually a guy's going to have some point in time where things don't go quite according to schedule. So it seems to be pretty minor. It's more in the flexor pronator in the forearm, but he'll throw a bullpen instead of a start tomorrow, and we'll have a much better idea how much of a setback it is. But I don't think it's going to be devastating. But, again, we'd love to get the guy back as fast as we can. We're keep having that feeling here that, we're not out of it. Our guys are battling, scraping, and clawing. We're doing it with a half-loaded gun every day, kind of waiting until we get those reinforcements. You talk about those kinds of guys, as Struble and Grady and Jake and Laffey and Betancourt. That's certainly better than anybody can acquire in a trade. We reload with that talent, and if we can just keep our nose above water until we do, and we feel like, we can make a run. I know it'll take a run, but we can make a good run.
Well, my next question would have been, when do we trade Cliff Lee and Mark DeRosa? I mean, come on. That's what I heard on ESPN.
Yeah, it's the age of the Internet. It's amazing. What happens is, I think, one person writes something as a rumor or an idea, someone else picks it up and it becomes a story. So I never unequivocally say nobody's, there's nobody out there I'll never say will never be traded. But I can tell you there are a lot of guys that are very unlikely to be moved. Cliff and Victor are certainly two of those guys.
You can't live in a world of absolutes, not in the world you operate in.
No, the way we operate here, we have to continue to look creatively, continue to try to build something that's sustainable. What I know is we're not headed towards a rebuilding process. It's going to be dramatic. With the pain we suffered last year with the trades of Casey Blake and CeCe Sabathia, we reloaded our farm system enough that combined with the drafts and international signings we've had, we've got a farm system that can sustain a competitive team. And what we need to do is go from competitive to contending each and every year and find a way to do that.
Well, I mean, it looks like to me they always talk about trading deadline, but in the Central, nobody's taking charge. I mean, there's a lot of teams in baseball that won't be able to do that because they're going to be in this thing if they really put it back into play.
What you do is you wait as long as you possibly can and hope your team goes on that run that puts you right in the mix. And at a certain point, deadlines force you to make decisions. But we're a long way from that deadline. So what we continue to do is prepare both ways. Prepare to improve the team. Also look at creative scenarios that involve trades but still improving other areas. And, we've done that throughout the entire season. And we've brought guys up that can help us. But right now, the biggest way for us to improve and the most important thing for us to do is hold the fort until we get these guys back, get them back, play a few weeks and see where we are.
But this team has not made a run this year. I mean, the most we won 4 games. We beat Tampa 4 straight. It's tough to win.
I mean, we're
series.
I
know.
Winning 3 series in a row, I think, has been the most positive step.
And then last night, then sits back and it pops you on. Yeah,
oh,
I mean,
pops me. That's
pops you, knocks you down.
That's a nice word for how that felt.
Well, I mean,
nice
this
word.
is TV.
I thought about being popped. Yeah, that was a tough.
I mean, the bullpen. That's been the Achilles heel all year long.
When you talk about the American League, all but 2 teams are within 6.5 games of first place, which tells me that unless somebody's willing to pay through the nose, it's going to be tough to make a trade this year.
I mean, there's always scenarios. I think there'll be guys available, difference-making guys. I'm not sure they're going to be available. And I think, the finances, the things that are going on with this country, with every person that has to deal with economic realities, they're impacting the game and attendance everywhere and teams' finances. So I think there'll be an economic component that either factors into not saving money when you make trades or getting less talent in return. But there's no question that the financial situation that probably 75% of all clubs are going through is going to also have an impact on the trade market.
What's the word on Grady Sizemore?
Well, Grady feels better. The MRI showed progress. That's going to end our conversation, I think, isn't it?
No, he's going to beat it out.
There we go.
You don't know the speed of that man. He can get down the line.
He's a leaner machine right there. That wasn't hard enough. But, no. Grady's made progress. I think until we get him back and he begins throwing and he begins hitting and progresses down the road, we're not going to know. And it's going to be based on how he feels, and it's going to take a little while to get that feel. I think in a week we'll have a good idea.
The worst case scenario would be possibly surgery.
Yeah, it's a scope surgery, 4 to 6 weeks, and that's worst case scenario. We're sure hoping to avoid it. And I think, you're talking about one of the best players in the league, not just the best players in this team. So we play without him or play with him and he wouldn't say this, but I'll say it, we play with him at him or at half strength, for too much of this season. To get him back is meaningful in so many ways beyond just what he contributes statistically, because he sets the tempo and the tone for what this team does.
So we've gone through 5 or 6 leadoff hitters since he's been out.
We have.
Look at that. That's a good play right there. Get up, Kronk.
There's 2 outs.
That's okay. That's okay. Right, he hustled. That was a good play with the ball in the dirt.
You're educating me as to Travis Hafner's speed tonight.
Yes, I am. That's okay.
What about Asdrubal Cabrera, another guy who was having a terrific season before the shoulder injury? And
Asdrubal, arguably our best all-around player prior to getting hurt. So, again, another guy we miss severely. We do feel like we may even be able to speed his time frame up a little bit. So he's taking ground balls, beginning the return to hit progression, and again, we'll have to see how he progresses when he starts moving with a little more intensity, his swings, and we'll see how fast we can get him back.
Will Johnny Peralta ever see the light of day at shortstop with the way Cabrera's played? I mean, because Cabrera, makes it look differently. I mean, seriously.
Well, I think Johnny works hard over there. I mean, what we've said all along is Johnny's a big man. He's 6'3", 220. People don't realize that on TV sometimes, but it's an effort for him to play 9 innings and stay in the game. So at some point, whenever that is, we feel like Johnny's future is going to be at third base. He feels like he's a shortstop now. He still goes out there and can show you that from game to game, but it's tough for him to stay at that level for all 9 innings day after day just because he's so big. So, Struble gives us a chance there. Heck, Valbuena has been very good there
I know
as well.
he has. I think we're a better team with one of those two guys at short and Johnny at third base.
That's good. I'll note that.
Okay, please do. Thank you on that walk. Hold on. I'll get you a piece of paper.
Give me a favor because I need to.
All right. Hold on.
Anything else in the draft next year? Who do you like?
2 on, 2 out for
You
Ben
didn't ask me
Francisco.
this year. We got to talk about this year's first. Aren't you glad you came up?
That's the first time I've smiled in 24 hours. I can tell you that.
You weren't supposed. Yeah, that's good. You were supposed to come last week and you blew us off.
That's the second time you've noted that this evening. I appreciate that. I had Chris come
I'll write that one. Yes, I know. It was nice to talk to Chris. He wanted to get out of the room too.
I enjoy my time up here. I know you're always
weekly
ready for me to
basis
leave.
and on every Tuesday home game.
We won't ink it, but I'll if you make the request, I will oblige you as much as possible.
Thank you.
2 on, 2 out. Ben Francisco with a 1-0 count.
Matt, are you still in here?
Yeah. I'm just directing traffic. I'm just directing traffic.
Can you ask me an Indians baseball question, please?
Play-by-play guy sets a tempo now. Remember that.
You're a tempo
It's out of
setter,
control.
man.
It's out of control.
1-1 pitch is fouled away.
Benny's working hard. We need to get him going again. I mean, he's a guy that has the ability to put a charge in the ball. A good athletic guy. We got to get him on base more, so his athleticism can make a difference.
He was. At his first at bat, he was going good a couple of weeks ago when he was in that leadoff spot. But it's just. Sometimes young hitters, they go through it. He can hit his right.
Billy Hall from his spot at third throws out Francisco, and that'll end the inning.
All right.
You want to stay for another couple?
2-0
drive. Radio right now.
Thanks for your time, Mark.
My pleasure.
All right.
You
Indians
sure?
General. And we're moving to the third inning. Brewers have collected 1 hit off Jeremy Sowers through the first 3. He set down the first 8 in order. Bill Hall, Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder. 40 pitches so far for Sowers. Jeremy, very efficient. 14 pitches in the first inning, 12 in the second, 14 more in the third. Squibber foul. That almost came back fair. I'll tell you what, that ball hit the lip of the grass in foul ground and almost tried to work its way back into fair territory. Watch this ball hit the lip over here on the right side. and try to work its way back into fair. If it would have one more hop onto the dirt and it might have came back, and Hall would add some egg on his face because he never left the box. 1-1 pitch.
You know what? That's when it usually happens.
The old assume game,
yes,
right?
when you think, okay, it's going to be a foul ball and you don't expect it to come back is when it does. And you can never have that happen when you're going poorly, and he is.
2-2 the count. All with a 2.06 average.
So what do you think, Mark wants to come? You think he'll ever come back and see us
that
again?
May be it. With that, you may have run another one off.
Oh, what's new? I've done that before.
Popped foul out of play. Last year, Billy Hall hit 225. But the year before that, 254, then 270, 291 back in 05. So you're looking at a steady regression offensively over the last 3-4 years. Out of play. I mean,
no,
Rick, in 06, he hit 35 homers. 35 home runs.
Wow.
Fastball in. Hit in the air, center field. Ben Francisco makes the catch. One away. Get a look now at our all-care dental and denture Smiling Easy Cam. Beautiful afternoon in northeastern Ohio. Clouds really moved in here just prior to game time. Cooled things off a bit. 17 locations across northeastern Ohio. All care dental and dentures. Make seeing the dentist easy. There's Chuck Kyle, St. Ignatius football coach. He's going to be coaching Team USA in an interesting World Cup American football tournament coming up here. I just can't imagine. Now, Chico might be the perfect guy to coach that kind of collection of all-star talent from all over the country, but I'm thinking, what a chore to get. When you got a bunch of all-stars, everybody thinks they're the man in the room, and try to get them all to play together, that's a challenge. Especially when you're talking about, 17, 18-year-old kids.
Yes, indeed.
I bet you were a treat when you were 17 or 18.
What are you talking about? A treat? Well, yes, I was.
Don't tell me I'm not the greatest. I'm the double greatest.
I would never do that. That was Eckersley.
2-0 pitch for a strike, yeah.
When you assemble people like that. I was a humble young man.
The 2-1. Chopped it off his foot, even with that foot guard, the shin guard on.
He did it last night as well.
He shakes it loose.
I will say this, though. Jeremy he's attacked these hitters, and he's facing the meat of the lineup just like you want it. And this one goes straight down into the foot. Second straight night. That's why he wears that protection there.
Yeah, he caught a break. Not quite a direct hit, a glancing blow. Still doesn't feel too good, but 2-2 the count. Finds a hole on the right side. Second hit of the night for Milwaukee. And a one-out base runner for Prince Fielder. Let's get a look now at our direct energy, bringing the gas sequence.
And it was a nice sequence from Sowers, facing Prince Fielder for the first time. Comes up, he's going to get very aggressive and throw the fastball. Strike one, follow it up with another one. I thought he had three in a row. That was a strike. He missed with two and then gets him out with the breaking ball.
Direct Energy offers simple solutions for your natural gas supply needs. Misses outside for ball one. Back out of play. Evens the count. 1-1 strike. Prince Fielder, they list him at 5'11", 268. And he's probably been that same size since he was in the 8th grade. I mean, they said he was always a big kid, even throughout high school. Fouls it out of play. Last year, 34 homers and 102 runs batted in 159 games.
Well, he's on pace now to go way past that. 62 ribbies, leading the National League.
Ryan Braun does have 5 stolen bases for Milwaukee. As Rick told you earlier, they don't run a lot. And that's proof right there. Braun leads the team with those 5 steals.
Well, you don't worry about him. You just pay attention to him, which he did right there. Because there's 2 strikes, you figure maybe I'm going to throw a breaking ball in the dirt or a pitch that may be a good pitch to run on. You pay attention to him and throw over. Although 3 runners have attempted to steal off Jeremy, and 3 of them have made it. So they're 3 for 3. But Maka, when he was a manager at Oakland, they never ran. No. I mean, they were a patient group of hitters. They took a lot of pitches, and they basically station to station. They played for the long ball.
That's hit hard, deep left field. Up it goes and off the fence. Braun got a great break. He's flying around third. He's coming home. Valbuena's throw not in time. Brewers get on the board as Prince Fielder drives in his major league leading 63rd run on the season. His 3rd hit in the season, in the series, with a ringing double off the wall and left.
Well, the 2 guys that did the damage last night, and that was a pretty good approach. Fielder going the other way and drove it well off the wall. And you get a good read when you're on base. Braun can run for a guy that has pop, and he was going to score easily. See that ball coming off the wall. By the time you could see Jimenez gets it off the wall and hits the relay. Valbuena with a good arm, but not in time. He scores easily, so it's a 2-1 ball game.
Now the tying run in scoring position for Corey Hart. Jeremy Sowers threw a first pitch strike to the first 6 hitters of the game. In the last 8 hitters now, he has missed. He's thrown a ball in the first pitch to 8 in a row now.
What was he, 6 for 6? When I remember he was early in the count. He was very aggressive.
Two and 0 the count here on Corey Hart, who has hit in 6 straight games for Milwaukee. Bounced out to second his first time up tonight.
See, these are the counts where this is his 4th 2-0 count where it doesn't bode well for him as the game goes on because he doesn't have that one pitch, whether it be a changeup or that exploding fastball, where these guys are going to start sitting on something now that they've seen him. He's going to have to make perfect pitches.
DeRosa.
Look at this.
Throws it to first, and Prince Fielder did a nice job of advancing over to third base, but now 2 are out.
How's that for base running from a big man?
Well, DeRosa, he looked at him, but he didn't really stop his feet. Fielder was just kind of shuffling his feet towards third, and as soon as he let go of the ball, he took off. But, again, there are 2 outs.
True, but, I mean, for a guy like that, it's a little easier to score from third base than it is from second.
Especially on a base hit to the outfield.
You get a base hit, you're automatically going to score. You score on a wild pitch, you score on an error.
Mike Cameron grounded out his first time up tonight. Looks at a ball down low, so that's 9 straight first pitch balls after
hard to figure out
6 straight first pitch strikes.
It really is. It's hard to figure out at times.
The 1-0.
So far, Jeremy has been perfect this year in this situation. Runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Hitters are 0 for 12 off him. That's always a good stat, good number.
The 1-1. Missed down low with it. 2 balls and a strike. Back to the screen, evens the count. Mike Cameron broke in with the Chicago White Sox back in the mid-90s. Since then, he's played with Cincinnati. 4-year stint with Seattle, then the New York Mets, Padres, and now in his 2nd year in Milwaukee.
Boy, you know, remember there was a lot of talk about him moving and going somewhere. Where was it? To New York? To the Yankees. You see 250 home runs. He can also steal bases, and he's also a Gold Glove center fielder.
Popped him up. Should get him out of the inning. Barfield calling for it. He's got it. Brewers get on the board, but they strand a runner at third, and the Indians lead it 2-1, middle of the 4th. Home half of the 4th inning here at Progressive Field. 2-1 Tribe on top. Josh Barfield, Luis Valbuena, and Mark DeRosa to face Giovanni Gallardo, who's already made 83 pitches so far here tonight. He was over 60 through the first 2 frames. Barfield called out on strikes his first time up. Gallardo has walked a season-high 5 and struck out 5, while yielding 3 hits, one of them a solo homer to Mark DeRosa in the first inning. Now the 0-2, able to lay off a ball in the dirt. Got him. And that's a half dozen punch-outs for Gallardo. Well, thanks to Mark DeRosa's home run, we've sent more money to the Gathering Place, a caring community that helps families and individuals dealing with cancer. Great Clips is donating $50 for every Indians homer this year. Rick and I are each chipping in $5 for every Indians dinger. You too can take part. Log on to touchedbycancer.org and you can make a donation as well. Luis Valbuena shoots one back to the screen. He is 1 for 2 with a double.
Yeah, they've been on a long ball tear. They have 72 this year.
Well, as I said earlier, they're third in the league in run score. I'm third in the majors in run score. And they lead it so far tonight 2-1. Bounced it in there. Valbuena with that double in the second inning snapped an 0 for 13 skid. But he goes swinging here in the fourth. That's 7 now for Gallardo.
Well, if you're traveling, you can always catch the Tribe games on your computer with MLB.tv. It's the ultimate baseball experience featuring 100 live out-of-market games per week, plus on-demand games. For full details, visit Indians.com, where baseball is always on.
Here's Mark DeRosa, walked his last time up. DeRosa's homered in 3 straight games. His first inning dinger put the Indians in front tonight. He's now hit in 6 straight games. Big bouncer to third. Hall, nice job on the short hop and throws him out. Indians go 1-2-3 for the first time tonight. 4 in the books, 2-1 Tribe. Eat fresh. And by Alltel Wireless. Choose who you call for free with My Circle. Any number, any network. There's Mission Control.
All right. No, don't point like you're doing something now. Camera's on.
What is he doing right there? Is he frozen and is that the still shot?
Tracking pitches, yeah. Got to show you where that ball's coming at home plate.
Pitch into Matt Gamble for a strike. Missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matt Gamble flied to center his first time up. He'll be followed by J.J. Hardy and Jason Kendall here in the 5th inning. There's a broken bat floater that's going to drop in right field, just beyond the reach of Josh Barfield. And the Brewers get their leadoff man aboard. Well, one of the real treats when we get to play Milwaukee is having a chance to see Bob Uecker, affectionately known as Mr. Baseball, and of course one of the real stars of the movie Major League for his portrayal of Harry Doyle. Uecker, of course, the Hall of Famer.
There's Uecker.
He once said, "The highlight of my playing career in 1967 was St. Louis. I walked with the bases loaded to drive in the winning run in an inter-squad game in spring training." He said, "When I came up to bat with 3 men on and 2 outs in the ninth, I looked in the other team's dugout and they were already in street clothes."
Well, he's a guy. He was a much better ball player than he ever said. You know, he knocks himself, and he's a pretty funny guy, but still in great shape. He's been doing it, he's been in baseball over 50 years.
Well, I remember his Hall of Fame acceptance speech in Cooperstown, and it was one of the classics. I mean, he mixed in the great humor. He told the story of when Milwaukee signed him. The scout came to the house, sat with the family around the table, and the scout said to his dad, "Mr. Uecker, we'd like to sign your son for $10,000. And Bob said, my dad looked at him and said, "Son, this family doesn't have that kind of money." And he used that in his induction speech at Cooperstown. How many autographs do you suppose he's signed over the years?
Oh, many, many. You know, he had that TV show, Mr. Belvedere, and, you know,
Yeah.
he had the Miller Lite commercials. And, you know, he's just a very likable guy, and what a great personality.
J.J. Hardy rifles one into left field. Jimenez will backhand it. Gamble stops at second. And the Brewers have the first 2 on here in the 5th inning. Tribe leading it 2-1, but Milwaukee threatening now.
Looked like a little changeup down and away. And Hardy puts a stroke on it, pulls it into left field. So back-to-back singles. Second straight inning where they've had back-to-back hits off Jeremy Sowers.
And here is Jason Kendall, who had the first hit of the night for Milwaukee in the 3rd inning.
Well, I'm looking for a bunt here. Although this Brewer team, they're not a bunting team.
Kendall shoots it back
You
foul.
know, when you think about it, you know, they're a National League ball club, and you think, okay, they play National League style ball. They have 21 sacrifices. The Indians have 20. They're one less.
You know, though, Rick, I remember in his days in Oakland, my conversations with Ken Maka, he was always a guy who came off to me as being very conservative in his approach to managing. He hates giving up outs.
Yeah, whether
which
it
is
be
why
on
they
the
don't run a
bases,
lot.
Exactly right.
Although Kendall did square that time.
But
Takes
you
it
know
for a
what?
ball.
I mean, he knows his teams obviously much better than we do. I mean, and this is a team that we say they're built on long ball, and they go 41% of all the runs they score have scored via the long ball. But I mean, there comes a point in time in the game where you've got to move runners, and Kendall's just like a base hit hitter. He's hitting 230. And I mean, you're in a 1-run ball game. I know it's only the 5th inning. Wouldn't you try and move him just to try and get one of your best pitchers the lead? If not, at least tie the game back up.
First time through the order. Brewers were 1 for 9 against Sowers. They're 4 for 8 since.
That's what he gets paid for. They made the adjustment the second time through. And this is where Jeremy usually, you know, runs out of gas. He's a 5-inning guy. It's in the 5th inning. And he usually has troubles going through that lineup the 3rd time through.
He has 5 ground ball outs so far this evening. He's looking for one big one right here. And the 2-1 missed down and in. Now he's in a tough spot.
That first time through, though, when they were 1 for 9, he was ahead of every hitter.
That's right.
For the most part. After that, he started falling behind like he is now, 3-1, and he doesn't have the pitches to attack the hitters. That's why they're 4 for 8. That second time through, and he's behind here, 3-1 to the 9th place hitter. So he takes the bunt right out of play.
Full count. Kendall took a healthy cut, came up empty. So 2 on, nobody out, and a 3-2 count on the number 9 hitter, Jason Kendall. Kendall, when he played for Ken Mache in Oakland, was used more as a leadoff hitter. Now at the other end of the lineup. The 3-2. A walked him and they're loaded. So 2 singles and a walk. And the bases are loaded with nobody out on the top of the order coming up.
Well, the Bud Light Party Deck is Progressive Field's best party area. The game tickets start at just $40. Includes an all-you-can-eat buffet. Fantastic view. It's out in right field. Call 216-420-HITS for information. Well, the table's set now for the top of the lineup back in the third time through this order.
Casey McGee 0 for 2. He is fly to right and grounded out to third into a fielder's choice. Two-one, Tribe leads it here in the 5th. And he misses for ball 1. He just can't get ahead. Matt Gamble, the runner, at third. J.J. Hardy at second. Jason Kendall down at first. And a ground ball hit to third. DeRosa goes to second. They get 1, and that's all they get.
Yeah,
first out of the inning.
He had no chance. I think he wanted to come home and realized he couldn't. And instead of he went and made the only play that he felt he could get. And that was at second base. And they weren't going to turn the double play on. So McGee will get the RBI. They'll get the lead runner. The double play is still in order.
So we're tied at 2 as McGee gets his 11th run batted in on the year. And Bill Hall 0 for 2 steps in. Swung on and missed. He's thrown the fastball by him. I tell you what, Rick, the way DeRosa's weight was carrying him forward, I thought he had a tougher play going to second than if he'd have tried to come home. But he made a good throw to get that out.
I don't think he felt he was going to get the guy at home plate. That's why he ended up turning to go to second base.
Threw it by him again, 0-2.
Well, he's thrown it by him all night tonight, so don't let up on him. Don't speed up his bat.
First and third, 1 out. 83rd pitch of the night for Sowers. Got a piece of it. And he stayed right at him with the fastball. Go ahead run at third in the form of J.J. Hardy. Casey McGee is down at first. And the 2-strike pitch is spoiled again by Hall back to the screen.
Well, that ball has been away from him. He's had 5 swings and misses, and now this being his third at bat.
Well, after 4 straight fastballs, now do you try to?
Well, you could do something off the plate, yes. See if he'll chase something.
Just don't make it too good.
Exactly. Victor running back inside.
And that's blooped foul down the right side.
He didn't really get it in where Victor wanted it. And a Brewer fan makes that play with the old baby blue uniform tops, the old road tops. See, up and away. That he missed his target by plenty there. Boy, he was in the kitchen on the hitters the first time through. He's not getting it back in there.
5 straight fastballs to Hall here in this at bat. And the count remains 0-2.
There's your changeup away to show. He didn't chase. That's okay. Take him off of the fastball.
It was interesting the change in plan there. Victor was set up in off the plate, and then when Jeremy stepped off the rubber.
Well, sometimes they'll do that too. Catchers will sit in there and they want you to look over at first or throw to first base. They'll slide inside on you. You know, so if that hitter, after you step off, peeks in to where you're sitting inside.
Gotcha.
You know, a lot of times when they're messing with that guy at first base or they're going to do something, they'll sit in, make you think that they're going to come in, and then they go right back outside away. Little trick. Just so you know. That's when you try and peek back and see where they're sitting.
First and third, 1 out, a 1-2 count.
Comes another fastball here.
And again, it's spoiled by Hall. So he's had trouble catching up to it all night, but he's fouled a number of them off here in this at-bat.
Well, that's because they're a little up, and you know, they're 90 miles an hour. He can catch up to it.
Yeah, 5 foul balls in this 8-pitch at-bat. And this will be pitch number 89 on the night for Jeremy. In the air, right field, pretty well hit. Chu racing back to the fence, makes the catch. Tagging at third, coming home with a go-ahead run is J.J. Hardy. And Bill Hall picks up just his 15th RBI of the year, but it puts Milwaukee in the lead for the first time tonight.
That was a good at-bat. He battled and hung in there and did what he had to do to get that run home. So back comes Milwaukee, and they take the lead with 2 in the 5th. But now you got to face the 2 big hitters. Well, actually, hopefully only one of them.
With 2 down, Ryan Braun steps in, 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 4th. Ryan Braun is now 2nd in the All-Star voting in the National League among outfielders. So he's no longer the best kept secret in the National League. Word is out. Fans taking advantage of the voting process, obviously in Milwaukee, but also around baseball. People recognizing Braun, one of the better outfielders in the National League.
Well, he was part of the home run hitting contest last year, wasn't he? And made the All-Star team, so people get to know him.
Mm-hmm.
He has surprising power.
And, you know, sometimes that's all it takes. You get that first one,
that's
and then all of a sudden, now your name's out there.
People say, yeah, you get in there and you compete and you do a good job, and people get to see you. They know who you are, even though you play in a small market like Milwaukee.
He was 3rd in the MVP voting last year in the National League.
Boy, he's a good player.
2 balls, no strikes. Watch how far back Ryan Braun is. He's actually out of the box. You can see where the original line was. He's actually out of the box deep. Getting that just a little bit of extra look.
That's probably why he fouls so many off his leg. The deeper you get in there.
Runner at first with 2 down. And a 3-0 count with Prince Fielder waiting on deck. Comes back with a strike.
Now you see, here's a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark and hit over 30 home runs, and he gets a 3-0 count. You don't see him up there swinging. He took a good look at it. And how many times we went through a game at St. Louis, we saw 4 or 5 guys that can't even hit the ball out of the park take cuts at a 3-0 pitch.
Fouls a 3-1 off, full count. All goes back to a comfort factor, I suppose. I remember Charlie Emanuel for years would say he liked to see guys swing 3-0 because he said in his mind a lot of times that's the best pitch you get in an at-bat.
Charlie just liked to see guys swing, period. he wants to see hitting. And, you know, if he felt that they could get a hit 3-0, then go ahead and swing. But you don't, most guys don't make pitchers work 3-0.
And the payoff pitch, runner at first goes, and it's ball 4. So now he's got 2 on and 2 out, and now he'll have to face Prince Fielder. Here's another look at tonight's All-Tel Text Poll question of the game. Best first baseman in the National League. What do you think? Prince Fielder, who's coming up? Albert Pujols, who we just saw? Ryan Howard of the Phillies, the world champs, or Adrian Gonzalez of San Diego, who's really tearing it up this year? Text your answer to 31962, and we'll have the results later on. In the first 3 innings of this game, Jeremy Sowers had 1 base runner, and he used 40 pitches. He's needed 55 pitches for the last inning and 2/3. Jensen Lewis is now starting to loosen in the Indians' bullpen. And here's a key spot early in the game for Jeremy Sowers with 2 on and 2 out, and the dangerous Prince Fielder stepping in.
Well, Fielder gave him their first run last inning on a 1-out double off the left center field wall.
7th man to bat in the inning for the Brew Crew. Fielder drove in his major league best 63rd run with that double in the 4th. Good stop by Martinez.
Yes, it was. There's the last inning, a ball out over the plate. You can see he just hammers it off the wall in left center field. That allows Braun to come in and score the first run for the Brewers. And that was just last inning. So Sowers in the last 2 innings has really scuffled to get through them.
Now the 1-0 pitch. And he caught the outside corner.
Now, good pitch, but you can see what happens when you're behind those hitters. They take it. They're going to make you throw it again.
He almost went after it, but he was able to hold up.
That's the thing. What happens when you throw a good one your first time, as Jeremy did there, the next time you throw it, you try and throw it even better. And what happens, it's just, you know, it's not there. It ends up going out of the zone, and you're a hitter now. You're back into a fastball count. And if he doesn't throw you the fastball in your zone, you take it. But, boy, these are dangerous hitters to, you know, be pitching 2-1, 3-1.
Ground ball hit to second. Barfield on the big hop. Throws him out. But the Brewers get 2. And they now have the lead 3-2. Middle of the 5th. Our crew is celebrating his birthday here at the ball yard.
Well, happy birthday, Mr. Auerbach. What's he say? Great as grandpa. How about Dad? Well, it looks like Sauer's done for the night.
Leading off here in the home half of the fifth is Victor Martinez, who walked and scored in the first inning, struck out to end the second with 2 men on base. In there for a strike, 2-1. Boy, I don't know. Looked for a pretty good pitch.
You know, he was looking in there thinking, I wonder where that was.
Now the 2-1 from Gallardo. Big breaking ball, and that's called a strike to even it up. Fouled out of play. Count remains 2-2. And Gallardo is closing in on 100 pitches. One way or another, both bullpens are going to be involved in this game tonight. The 2-2.
Look at that.
Shot it down the third baseline, and it's fair. Victor rounds first, takes a look, but he'll have to hold there.
Well, you talk about a nice piece of hitting. He just stayed on that and just slapped it the other way on the curve ball away. I mean, beautiful. That one he just picked up off the ground. You try and do anything else with that pitch there. Look at that. I mean, stayed right on it. That's perfect. Perfect job of hitting and then rewarded with a single. Victor, his first hit of the night.
Unless Billy Hall was standing on third base, he had no chance to field it either.
Yeah, and you give him that. I mean, that's automatic.
Shin-Soo Choo has walked and flied out to left. Indians down a run here in the home half of the fifth inning. Fastball fouled back.
Choo, one of the only guys that wears the double flaps on that helmet. Well, the Indians going to try and come back on Gallardo here in the bottom half of the fifth. See if they can answer the two that they put on the board in the top half.
Pretty good pitch, and it's called a strike, 1-2. Gallardo delivers, and it's lined into center field for Choo. His first hit tonight, and the Indians open the home half of the fifth with back-to-back singles off Giovanni Gallardo.
Well, he tried to throw another fastball by him upstairs, and Choo didn't let him do it. He got ahead of him, and Choo took it for strike two. Came back with the same pitch, and Choo was ready. Shortened the swing up and just put a base hit on it, a stroke into center field. So back-to-back singles starting off the fifth inning here for the Tribe.
Ryan Garco to the plate. He is walked and singled tonight. Tying run at second base for Cleveland. And a breaking ball called a strike.
Well, that single by Garco in his last at bat came between first and second base. He stayed on the ball nicely. That would be a good approach so he could stay back on his curveball. And it keeps you inside the fastball there where he's going to set it up. Now down in the count 0-2.
Martinez, the tying run at second base. Go ahead run Chu at first. And the 0-2 pitch to Garco. Tapper towards first base. Fielder's only play is at the bag. So in effect, it's like a sacrifice bunt. Runners to second and third and one away. Let's go back to the STO studios right now for a Ford Sports Update with Al Pawlowski.
All right, guys, we go to St. Louis. Tigers in town. Verlander on the mound, and St. Louis would score 4 runs in the first after 2 outs. Here, Joe Thurston doubles in Yadier and Molina. 4-0 Cardinals. They're now in the bottom of the second inning in St. Louis. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. That's surprising.
Well, they're going to put Hafner on to load it up and take their chances with the rookie.
Intentional walk will be issued here.
It's number 6. Well, and you take your chances. You got the rookie, you've got your young pitcher on the mound that can strike you out, or he's looking for a ground ball double play.
Ball 3 to Hafner, who drove in a run with a fielder's choice ground ball in the first inning. Bounced into a fielder's choice also in the third. So he draws the free pass, and they're loaded with 1 out for Chris Jimenez. Hey, Browns fans, you can win a Trips Pack, the Browns' new 3-game ticket plan. Log on to STOHD.com and tell us your 3 favorite Browns receivers of all time, and you'll be automatically entered to win. Once again, Bill Castro goes out to chat with Gallardo.
Well, he's having a talk with him, and he's at about 110 pitches, but he has thrown 126 this year against the Cardinals. He had a no decision, but he went 8 innings, gave up 2 hits in that ballgame. He had walked 4 and struck out 6. So he's in a mess right here.
Well, as of the last time we checked, which was just a couple of moments ago, there wasn't even anyone up in that Brewer bullpen. So even though he's at 110 pitches, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Bases loaded, 1 out. Chris Jimenez, who has walked and struck out, and looks at a ball in the dirt. And that is the most pitches now for Gallardo since he threw 126 back on May 25th. 126. Fastball strike at the belt.
Well, that's when you want there. When you're a young hitter, he missed with his first pitch breaking ball. You have to be sitting for that fastball, and you don't want to give it to him. Because now he gets back into the count. You don't know what he's going to throw.
That's fouled out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Tying run at third, Victor Martinez. Go ahead run at second, Shin-Soo Choo. Hafner down at first. The 1-2 pitch, and Jimenez strikes out. 2 down. That's 8 strikeouts now for Giovanni Gallardo.
Well, he had the 2 fastballs. His chance to get to him, he never did, and they put him away with the curveball. They knew that's the pitch that he was going to get once he got to 2 strikes. And it leaves it up to Ben Francisco with 2 down and the bases loaded. He is 0 for 2 tonight.
0 for his last 12 overall. And a strike is called on a pitch that looked like ball one.
To me, it looks like Benny's caught a little bit in between. He's taken some good fastballs tonight. He's been swinging at his breaking ball, and that's not a pitch you want to swing at unless you have to when you get to 2 strikes.
Breaking ball bounced to short. Hardy goes to second for the inning-ending force. Indians load him up, but they leave him loaded. 5 complete, 3-2 Milwaukee. Aggressive field where the Indians trail the Brewers by a score of 3-2. Jeremy Sowers, 5 innings, 3 runs, 5 hits.
You know, very similar to every start. 5 innings. Last time he won 5 innings, he gave up 2 runs in 99 pitches. Today it's 3 runs. And Eric's going to go to the bullpen and bring on Jensen Lewis, appearing for the 24th time now in relief of Sowers. Drive down a run, 3-2 here, heading into the 6th inning. And you would have to think that Gallardo's going to be out of the game about now, wouldn't you?
Well, there is activity in the Milwaukee bullpen, so yeah, you would assume that maybe his night is over, but we'll wait and see for sure. First pitch strike for Jensen Lewis to Corey Hart, who is 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of ground outs. And a liner into right center. Francisco cuts it off. Hart's digging for 2. Here's the throw off line.
Great hustle.
And a leadoff double for Corey Hart.
Very good hustle. He sat there and he made the decision on his own as he peeked out there, saw Francisco was moving over to his left, and says, I'm going to make a good throw. And he didn't do it. There's a ball down the middle. That ball, he wanted it away, came down and in. And anytime you see an outfielder going away from where he has to throw, it's a good opportunity. If you're an average to above average base runner, go ahead and make him make a perfect throw. Tough to stop your momentum, turn, and be right on the money with your throw, and you get the extra base. So that's good hustle to start off the inning. You know, as an outfielder, what you do, sometimes you stop, and instead of going to your left, you plant, you turn, you know, and throw 360. It's still awfully hard to be accurate with the throw.
Now Mike Cameron steps in 0 for 2. He has grounded out and popped up. Fouls it out of play. (3-2). Milwaukee leads it. Guess a little interesting here in that Cameron, in an 0 for 15 slump and 3 for his last 40, wouldn't just be bunting on his own.
Well, a veteran guy. And once you said, once you get the lead, he does not like to give up outs. You know, they didn't bunt last inning. When they had Kendall, he ended up getting the walk. And when you've got a veteran hitter, he knows what his job is.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the manager. I'm just thinking, if I'm Mike Cameron right now, I'm just going to take my bunt, get the runner over to third.
You're right.
The way things are going.
As a veteran, he feels obviously he can get it done, the job done, or he would do that, I would think.
Swung out and missed, blew it by him.
Didn't.
Nice job by Jensen Lewis, first out in the inning. Time now for our Northern Ohio Toyota dealers game recap. Mark DeRosa put the Indians in front with a solo homer. They led it 2-0, but Prince Fielder cut the lead in half with an RBI double off the wall and left. Milwaukee would eventually tie the game and then go ahead on Bill Hall's sacrifice fly to right field, scoring J.J. Hardy. And it's 3-2 Milwaukee. For a dealer near you, visit buyatoyota.com. Matt Gamble takes a strike. Jensen Lewis has thrown 7 pitches, 6 for strikes. And it's quickly 0-2. The 2-strike delivery is up high. Gamble 3 for 7 in the series. Swung on and missed. And back-to-back strikeouts for Jensen Lewis. 2 down here in the inning. Once again, let's go back to the STO studios for a Ford Sports Update with Al.
Matt, Rick, this time we go to Minnesota where the Twins are taking on the Pirates. It was 2-2 here in the bottom of the third inning. Justin Morneau a single. That brings home Brendan Harris. The Twins went at another. They're now leading at 4-2, still batting in the bottom of the third inning. Back to you.
Okay, Al, here is J.J. Hardy, who singled and scored in that 5th inning. That was the go-ahead run for Milwaukee. For Hardy, it's just his 8th hit in his last 65 at-bats. Popped out of play, right side. Jensen Lewis trying to make quick work of the Brewers here after giving up the leadoff double to Corey Hart. And the 2-strike pitch. Right back up the middle into center field, a base hit. Coming around third is Corey Hart. He'll be waved home. He will score. And Milwaukee now leads it 4-2. And for the Brewers, that's their first hit tonight with a runner in scoring position.
Well, coming on an 0-2 pitch, too, where Jensen worked so hard to get ahead of him. And a guy that has been struggling, and he goes right back up the middle, hit the ball hard, made an out earlier, and you can see it right back up the middle. Tough way to go, 0-2 pitch. But they increase it. It's now a 4-2 Brewer lead. And Victor did a great job of not allowing that guy to get to second base on the throw from center.
So 2 down now for Jason Kendall as Milwaukee has extended their lead to a pair. Strike to the outside edge. One-third of the runs Milwaukee has scored so far in this series have come via their leadoff hitters. So that's making the most of your opportunities when you get them on. Down the right side, out of play. So once again, an 0-2 count. Runner at first with 2 away. Lewis has thrown 16 pitches, 14 strikes. So he's come right at the hitters, but Hardy got that fastball up in the zone that he was able to get on top of and pounded up the middle for the RBI hit. Bouncer to second, Barfield with the flip, inning over. But the Brewers add a run, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th here at Progressive Field. It's now Milwaukee 4 and Cleveland 2. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Progressive Field. Tribe down 4-2, and the night is over for Giovanni Gallardo. And the Brewers will go to the bullpen. Right-hander Todd Coffey will come on now. Formerly with the Cincinnati Reds, claimed off waivers by Milwaukee.
Got the win in last night's ball game. Retired all 4 batters that he faced, had a couple of strikeouts. So coming back on again. We'll see if the Indians can do anything to mount a comeback here. He really struggled early in that first couple innings with control. He ended up, though, with 8 strikeouts and 6 walks. That's a season high.
One intentional on the free passes. But he walked the bases loaded 3 straight in the first inning, but got out of it, allowing just 1 extra run in that first. Josh Barfield 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts will lead it off. Hits the first pitch in the air to left. Back goes Braun. Looking up, and it's off the fence. His throw to second base, not in time. I don't know who he was trying to deke there. Barfield was going to run regardless. And he's in there with a leadoff double.
Well, Josh jumped on him, and he's a good base runner, so he was off and running anyway. But, you know, I mean, he shouldn't be able to decoy any of the Indians hitters. That's their park. They know it's going to be off the wall, so they're off and running. He does a nice job of just turning, though, and that ball comes right to him for not being his home ballpark. Played that beautifully and made that a lot closer than it should have been.
Now Luis Valbuena. Bouncing ball to short. Hardy double clutches, throws out Valbuena. Over to third goes Barfield, 1 away.
Well, spend Father's Day with Dad right here at Progressive Field. You can enjoy a delicious ballpark buffet in the club lounge and watch the Indians take on the Cubs in Wrigley Field. That'll be a week from Sunday, or this Sunday, won't it? Yeah. On the Giant scoreboard, play catch in the outfield. You can purchase tickets at Indians.com. That's right, it'll be Sunday. We're into Tuesday. We leave Thursday night.
Mark DeRosa swings and misses at a first pitch breaking ball.
Interleague play will continue. The second trip that the Indians will ever make to Wrigley Field, and all 3 of those games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be day games.
And you'll see them all right here on Sports Time Ohio. DeRosa bounced out to third his last time up. Went after that same slider down and away, and it's 0-2. Milwaukee with a 4-2 lead here in the 6th. Tying run at the plate for Cleveland. Barfield at third base. Weak chopper hit slowly to third. Hall's throw to first in time. DeRosa retired, gets his second RBI on the night, 48th of the year. It's a 1-run game as the Indians draw to within 4-3 of Milwaukee.
Well, that'll get it done. Any way to get that man in from third is a little weak grounder. Hall, his only play was first base, retires Mark DeRosa, but he gets the run in, so that's his 48th RBI of the year. It's a 4-3 ball game.
And now Victor Martinez, 1 for 2 tonight with a single. He has also walked and scored. Bouncing ball up the middle, backhanded by McGee, and he throws out Martinez, and the inning is over. But it's now a 1-run game through 6, 4-3 Milwaukee. Simple solutions for all your natural gas needs. Visit directenergy.com/GoTribe for details. And by AM/PM, too much good stuff. 4-3, Milwaukee leads it as we go to the 7th inning here at Progressive Field. Jensen Lewis stays on for the Tribe. They'll face the top of the order: Casey McGee, Bill Hall, and Ryan Braun, excuse me. McGee 0 for 3, picked up an RBI and a fielder's choice his last time up. And he takes the first pitch strike.
This is only the third ball that Jensen has thrown tonight. Talk about pounding the strike zone out of 19 pitches.
Popped up. Shallow right. Josh Barfield says, "I'll take it." And he does, one away. Tonight after the ball game right here on Sports Time Ohio, Darcy Egan will go fishing for smallmouth bass on Lake Erie with legendary guide and videographer Glenn Lau. Plus, Browns lineman Joe Thomas takes his lab on a training session in the bird fields. That's Outdoors Ohio tonight after the game. Bill Hall takes a strike. He drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning. Lines one to center. Francisco coming on, makes the shoulder high catch, 2 away.
Well, you can tee it up at the annual Indians charity golf outing. That'll be Monday, August 3rd out at Quail Hollow Country Club. You can meet current members of the Indian rosters, plus also some alumni. Golf packages include single golfers as well as groups of 5 players. Just visit Indians.com/golf for all the details. It's really a fun day. Great food out there on the course. And a lot of fun out there golfing.
Might be a good day to break out the R9 driver.
I had it out yesterday. Yes, I did. Called Jimmy Hanlon. He took care of me, went out to Stonewater and tried it out.
Has a different sound. It doesn't have the ping. It
little different sound.
Sounds more like a knock when you hit it.
I like knocks. When you talk, you get a knock. It's a
Ryan Braun, he has 1 knock tonight. That came back in the 4th. He came around to score the Brewers' first run. 4 hits for Braun now in the series and 7 at bats. Two-strike pitch down low. That's the 4th ball now thrown by Lewis.
Well, that's okay. Sometimes you got to mix them in. You can't continue to keep pounding that strike zone. And that one base hit that where he gave up the run was on an 0-2 count. Jensen's a guy who gets very aggressive when he gets out there, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you have to stay out of the middle of the plate.
The 1-2 pitch. Bounced it in there. And we're back to even. Jeremy Sowers, the starter tonight, went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. Made 99 pitches. Lewis gave up 1 run in that 6th inning. Now trying to set him down in order here in the 7th. Pops him up. This should get him out of it. Barfield comes charging in. And now Valbuena grabs it. And the Brewers go 1-2-3. Stretch time in Cleveland. It's 4-3 Milwaukee. You can also enjoy pizza, wings, or one of their famous overstuffed sandwiches on the beautiful outdoor patios. Home of the best outdoor dining in town. Visit paninisgrill.com. Bottom of the 7th for the Tribe. They trail it 4-3. It was Indians Hall of Famer Bob Lemon who later as a manager once said, Rick, 2 most important things in life, good friends and a strong bullpen. And Milwaukee has the 2nd best bullpen in the National League.
Yes, they do.
But the Indians scratched out a run against that pen in the 6th. Todd Coffey stays out here for the 7th. And Shin-Soo Choo fouls the first pitch off. He's 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a walk.
Well, they also say that your offense is only as good as that bullpen. You know, you get that lead, and if they can find a way to shut it down, it makes your offense very, very good.
Which is why Milwaukee's outscored the opposition by almost 40 runs from the 6th inning on this year. It's not so much that they have a great offense, but the other team doesn't score against their bullpen.
That makes it easier to come back. Counsell now goes into second base.
Replacing Casey McGee. Choo looks at a ball in the dirt. And he's worked himself into a hitter's count here, 2-1. This scoreboard update brought to you by Coors Light. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Fouled out of play on the left side. Todd Coffey was originally a 41st round pick of the Cincinnati Reds back in 1998. Did he go around? They appeal. He did not. Close one. Almost chased after it, but able to hold up.
Well, he does a good job. He did keep those hands and that barrel of the bat back.
And the payoff pitch. Choo lines one to left field. Braun racing over, can't get it. Ricochets off the fence. Choo's got 2. And he will hold there with a leadoff double. Second straight inning, the Indians have a leadoff double against Todd Coffey. And now if they can get him over and get him in like they did last inning, they can tie the game.
Well, you love that, the start to the inning. Barfield did it last inning, and Choo, a nice job. See, staying on that baseball, just going with it. Boy, when he's using the field like that, he's a tough out with his eye. So he slices it away from Braun into left field, so Choo gets into second base. For Choo, his 10th double. 3rd of the night for the Indians.
Ryan Garco has walked, singled, and bounced out to first tonight. Last time up with the first 2 on base, Garco grounded out to first and moved both runners up. But the Indians would load the bases and fail to score in the 5th. Lays off a ball down low. Missed inside with that fastball. Ryan Garco has been a good hitter in these situations for the Indians. On the year, 7 for 17 with less than 2 out, runner in scoring position.
And looking for a good job to just go the other way, and he does it very well.
Takes a strike.
See, they're trying to combat that and, throw him something slow where he tries to roll over and can't move that runner into to third base. But Garko should be able to get this job done here.
Ken Maka looking at the matchups with Travis Hafner waiting on deck. Now the 2-1. Fouls it off, and kind of an odd-looking swing. The top hand came off the bat.
He was looking to hit it the other way and swung at a bad pitch is what happened. Trying to go that way. He was fooled on that last pitch with the curveball. And then takes a pitch he's not going to hit. Instead of taking it, he wanted to try and push it that way. So he's got to step out and regroup.
A 2-2 count. Tying run at second base. Nobody out here. Home after the 7th inning. Right-hander Todd Coffey in his 2nd inning of relief. And he strikes him out.
Yeah.
Got him to go fish.
He sure did. That was not a good at-bat, especially after having the count in your favor. 2-0. He got him to swing at a break. The last 2 pitches were out of the zone. He got him to swing at. So he expanded the strike zone to Garko. Now you want some help from your teammates. DeFelice is up throwing in the Milwaukee bullpen.
Now they have to walk Hafner, I would imagine. If this.
Well, not really. You're going to put the winning run on base. You go ahead and pitch to him and see if he'll swing and make it out. I don't think they want to walk him.
4.
Well,
free
if they
pass.
do, okay, then they're going to take that chance.
Well, I mean, I just think you can't let Hafner beat you here. You go after the rookie.
Well, I don't disagree with that, but I don't necessarily say the way Hafner's swinging, you just go ahead and put him on base. It's the 2nd time he was intentionally walked tonight. I just think you maybe go at him a little bit and see if he'll swing the bat at pitches.
Looking at the Indians bench, you've got 3 right-handers: Jamie Carroll, Johnny Peralta, Kelly Shopik, and the switch hitter Trevor Crowe.
Carroll may be the guy. They did this the last time. In the 5th inning, Gallardo did and ended up getting Jimenez to swing and strike out. When they had the bases loaded.
Chris is 0 for 2 tonight with a walk and 2 strikeouts. This will be ball 4 to Hafner. And so they put him on for the 2nd time tonight via the intentional walk.
There you go. Yeah, Carroll coming out.
So we'll get a pinch hitter for Jimenez. And it will be Jamie Carroll.
Well, you have to. Carroll's a contact guy.
Bill Castro coming out for a talk with Coffey. As a pinch hitter this year, Jamie Carroll 0 for 2.
But you see the situation. In the 5th inning, he let Jimenez stay out there. He had faced Gallardo twice before. He was going to give him the opportunity with the bases loaded. Now you're getting into crunch time, and it's a 7th inning, so he figures, okay, I've got a chance there. I'm going to use my pinch hitter Carroll in this situation.
Indians are 0 for 10 tonight with a runner in scoring position. 4 strikeouts, 4 groundouts, and a couple of fielders' choices. Talked about that before, how some nights that clutch hit seems like it's so hard to come by, and then there are other nights where it's just raining clutch RBI hits. Swings at that slider.
Let me ask you
this:
how often do you see Jamie Carroll swing at the first pitch? I mean, that's a rarity. Normally he's up there, he's taking all the way, but not this time.
6 swings.
See, that's 7% of that's strange. When I see him swing at the first pitch, boy, you say something. These boys got it back in the studio. They got it right up on the screen. 7% of the time.
Popped it up. Foul ground. Fielder with a long run back to the plate. Can't get up to it. And it's 0-2 on Jamie Carroll. So now Jamie's going to have to battle with 2 on and 1 out.
Boy, he's got his back and he's off and running. He just runs out of room here as that bounces into the seats.
Tying run at second base, Shin-Soo Choo. Go ahead run at first, Travis Hafner. Carroll in a pinch hit roll, down on the count 0-2.
Checking the lineup card.
Down low. Willie Randolph, the bench coach for Ken Maka.
Yeah, that's nice to have. Former manager of the Mets. They let him go, and last year.
1-2. Lays off this time, and it evens up. Ben Francisco waits on deck. Jamie Carroll with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. 2 on and 1 out here in the home half of the 7th inning. Struck him out looking, and that looked like it was inside. Carroll let CB Buckner hear about it. 2 down. You can't leave it in CB's hands.
Well, you're absolutely right, and we've seen a couple calls tonight that, you know, maybe have gone the other way where he didn't call them strikes, but boy, oh boy, a tough one to take. He didn't like it.
Players have often complained that Buckner is an inconsistent balls and strikes umpire. And with 2 on and 2 out, it's up to Ben Francisco now. Popped him up. And Prince Fielder will make the catch. And another opportunity squandered by the Tribe. 7 complete, 4-3 Milwaukee.
The authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
4-3, Milwaukee stays in front. Go to the 8th inning now. Jamie Carroll stays in. He goes to third. DeRosa goes out to left. Prince Fielder to lead it off against Jensen Lewis. And the pitch misses for ball one. Same pitch. This time it's called a strike. 1-1. They tell us that Casey McGee, the Brewers' second baseman, left the game with right knee soreness. That's why Craig Counsell came in defensively in the bottom of the 7th. Prince Fielder had a big RBI double in the 4th inning that got the Brewers on the board tonight. They scored that run in the 4th. They got 2 in the 5th, 1 more in the 6th. Hits are even at 7 apiece. Ran it in tight, 3-1. And a leadoff walk. Let's get a look at the results of tonight's All-Tel text poll question of the game. And 64% go with Albert Pujols. I mean, it's tough to argue with any of those guys,
but I know it.
I would probably agree.
Well, the guy we don't get to see is Adrian Gonzalez, and they're just starting to walk him, but hard to not vote for Prince Albert right there.
He's the guy with the credentials right now. All he's done.
Well, they got a chance to see him over the weekend.
In the air, fairly deep right field. Chu is there. Corey Hart flies out, one away. Let's go back to the STO studios for a Ford Sports Update with Al Pawlowski.
All right, guys, we go to Kauffman Stadium, Arizona taking on Kansas City, and the Royals here with Billy Butler in the 5th get a sacrifice fly. They're blanking Arizona right now. 3-0 the score. They're in the top of the 6th inning as the Royals behind Gil Mesh getting it done thus far. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Arizona, 10 games under 500 in the cellar in the NL West. How about Colorado, the run they've made lately? They've won 11 in a row coming into tonight.
Yes, indeed.
Popped them up.
Third team to do that this year. Boston did it. And then...
I mean, the Rockies are still 10.5 out, but they put themselves at least now in the wild card hunt in the National League.
Well, and San Diego was the other team to do it. The two teams that are under 500, they had overdone game winning streaks. That's hard to believe.
I mean, it's probably too early to talk wild card, but they're 3 games out right now of the wild card position in the National League. Mike Cameron 0 for 3, swings and misses. And they count 0-2. Almost chased after that high fastball. You think back, Rick, and Mike Cameron was the guy who went from Cincinnati to Seattle in the Ken Griffey Jr. trade. And a year later, he was a key figure in that great Mariners team that.
Yes, he was.
Won, 114 games that year? There's a drive into deep left center field, and it's going to get down. It'll go to the fence. Coming around third is Prince Fielder. and he's going to score all the way from first base. And into third with a one-out RBI triple is Mike Cameron. And the Brewers now lead it 5-3. And that snaps an 0 for 16 skid for Mike Cameron. Down in the count. Picks up his first 3-bagger of the year.
You know, he went out and hooked this ball. See where he went out there and flipped it, that pitch upstairs? Got it into left center field, and by the time Francisco bobbled it, he gets it in. Fielder scores easily from first base. He's chugging along, but then Cameron goes into third. It's a 5-3 game, and now they're going to have to bring the infield in.
There's your buddy Dale Swain.
Yeah.
Hitting coach for Milwaukee. Had to like what he saw on that swing by Cameron, who's really struggled this year. That's just his 4th hit in his last 42 at-bats. But it was a big one for Milwaukee. Gives them a little breathing room now. And a chance to add to it with Matt Gamble at the plate. Infield, a cut of the grass around the horn. Popped out of play. Just missed inside. And the count is 1-1. So again, Milwaukee has done a good job in this series of getting the leadoff man on and getting them home. That's the 3rd time tonight they've had a leadoff man score. 7th time in the series in the first 2 games. Left-hander Rafael Perez starting to get loose. I don't know what was wrong with that. 3-1 the count. Guess a bit outside. Now they'll just put him on. So the intentional walk puts runners at first and third with 1 down, and now J.J. Hardy, who already has 2 hits tonight. He has scored 1 and driven in 1. And J.J. Hardy came into this game just 1 for his last 32. But after a night in which he hit some balls hard and got a hit last night, he's maybe starting to come out of it.
Well, hit a ball hard in his first at-bat tonight, out to right field.
Ball 1, it's outside.
Send along some birthday wishes to Phyllis Hoffman of Massillon, turning 87 today. Phyllis, happy birthday to you, and a happy 46th anniversary to James and Jeannie Dillard of Painesville.
Missed again, 2-0. Lewis in his 3rd inning of relief, maybe running out of steam. 45 pitches under his belt. And it's 3-0. There's Jason Kendall waiting on deck.
You know, he'll look for a pretty good pitch now. I look for that fastball that he can drive and at least try and get that guy in from third base. Something he can hit in the air.
Indians infield halfway in. 3-1 pitch is fouled back to the screen, full count. Now Lewis's payoff pitch, runner at first breaks, and it's fouled out of play. With one out, Ken Maka starting that runner at first base to try to stay out of the double play. And when you've got the 2-run advantage, why not keep the pressure
sure,
on?
it makes sense. And then that way, any ball, if it's hit on the ground, they're going to have to come home with it. And Cameron, who has decent speed at third base, you just apply pressure to the defense.
Runner goes, 3-2 pitch, hit on the ground, backhanded by Valbuena. His only play is at first, and he got him. 2 down, but a run scores. It's now 6-3 Milwaukee. Give J.J. Hardy his second RBI of the night.
And that's the only play that Valbuena had, is to go to first base. If it's not hit directly at you, you're not going to get the guy at the plate. They started the runner at first base, so you can't get the force. So you've got one play. You make it at first base, they get the run.
And now Jason Kendall steps in with a runner at second and 2 down. And the 51st pitch of the night for Lewis is hammered into center field. Gamble comes around third. He scores. The Brewers get 3 runs here in the 8th inning to really take command of the game now.
Well, and now both walks that Jensen gave up in the inning come around to score, and that's about 30% of the walks this year that the Indians have given up have come around to score. Another high fastball. Puts a short swing on it, and those balls are going to get hit all the time up there. So the Brewers have scored 4 in the last 5 innings, and this time it's a big crooked number.
Eric Wedge will go back to the bullpen. We'll take a timeout. Milwaukee with 3 runs here in the 8th inning to take command of the game, 7-3. Left-hander Rafael Perez coming in one night after giving up the grand slam home run to Prince Fielder on the first pitch he threw last night.
Well, to me, for Jensen Lewis, he was extended out there today, going 2 2/3, and for him to go through that lineup, and I know he is the long man, but it's because those guys in the bullpen last night couldn't get the job done in too many walks. He had to go out there and face it tonight. And, you know, it's too bad. The 2 walks coming around. And look at that. Outscored 9-0 in the series. And on the year, 60-31 in the 8th inning. That is a number that is just tough to swallow there.
And I guess it's not so much the 31. It's the 60. You can't expect to score a ton of runs.
Well, that's late in the ball game.
But when you give up a ton of runs.
I know it. That's exactly right.
You take a close game and
take
turn it into a blowout.
Well, that's why the Indians can't get to Kerry Wood, because for safe situations, if it is a close game and they'll score, you know, and they'll take it out. But more times than not, they take a close game and it's a blowout. It turns into a blowout here. Not a blowout, but I mean, it goes from a 1-run game to a 4-run game. It's not a safe situation.
Craig Counsell's first at bat tonight.
Boy, it's just tough when you don't know what you're going to get out of that bullpen on any given night. They have settled down recently, but boy, they've had a few flare-ups here.
Coming hard, not going to get there. Chu plays it on the hop. Into third goes Kendall. And a base hit for Craig Counsell. So the 8th man to bat in the inning now will be Bill Hall. Bill Hall 0 for 3 tonight. Drove in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning. Went after that slider down and in. Swung on and missed, and another ball in the dirt. And it's 0-2. Bill Hall struck out in the 1st inning, flied to center in the 4th, lined out to center in the 7th. In the 5th inning, he put up a pretty good battle against Jeremy Sowers, was down in the count. And he wound up driving one to deep right field, able to get a run home from 3rd. But it's been a rough go of it for Bill Hall of late. 7 hits in his last 74 at bats. Pop foul out of play. Rafael Perez has Hall down on the count 0-2, trying to put him away here and end the inning. Strikes him out, but the Brewers tack on 3 big runs. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-3 Milwaukee. They need all the help they can get right now. Down
they're
4.
from Hawaii. They're quite a ways away.
Yeah.
Enjoying a ball game tonight.
They need a little Hawaiian punch. Josh Barfield, Luis Valbuena, Mark DeRosa to face right-hander Carlos Villanueva for the 30th time this year.
He is holding hitters to a 207 batting average on the year.
And Barfield takes a first pitch strike. And it's quickly 0-2. Villanueva signed with San Francisco back in 2002 out of the Dominican Republic. Came to the Brewers in a trade in 04. Made his major league debut in 06 with Milwaukee. Fly ball to center field, 1 down here in the 8th.
There you go. The Villanueva facing Valbuena.
Say that too many times, your tongue may go on the DL. Hammered deep right field. Hart chasing back. It's over his head and off the fence. Valbuena digging for 2. The throw is not in time. His second hit of the night, his second double. When he hits them, they usually are hit hard and they're usually for extra bags. 11 out of his 17 hits this year have been extra base knocks.
This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Second double of the night for Luis Valbuena. He goes off the screen in front of their bullpen. He now has 10 doubles. So that'll be hit number 8 for the Indians.
Mark DeRosa takes a strike. Lays off that ball down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hit pretty well, deep right center field. Cameron chasing back, and it is caught astride in front of the fence by Mike Cameron. A Gold Glover in center field. He was able to run it down, and he was running out of real estate.
I'll tell you what, he shows you why. He came out of nowhere. Look at, he took his eye off the ball. You don't see a lot of people, center fielders, doing that. He had his eye off the ball, looking to a spot where he thought that ball was going to land. He looks back up and just cruises underneath it, and that was a lot easier than, he knew he was going to get there. He knew where he was on the field. You could see a couple of steps from the wall on the warning track, puts it away, and, that stops it. A run would have scored, and you had another guy on base, and you got a comeback going for the middle part of your lineup, and, boy, you make a defensive play like that, and you outnumber 2.
Now Victor Martinez steps in 1 for 3 on the night, walked and scored back in the first. Villanueva fires one in the dirt. Called strike on the inside corner, and the count is 1-1 on Martinez. That one just missed. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Victor now in his last 9 games has 10 hits in 30 at-bats. Popped back out of play. Runner at second with 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Tribe down 4. And the 2-2 pitch to Victor is bounced back to the mound. Villanueva throws him out. And we'll go to the 9th. 7-3 Milwaukee. Back here at Progressive Field where the Brewers lead the Indians 7-3. Going to the 9th inning. Rafael Perez will stay on to face Ryan Braun, Prince Fielder, and Corey Hart. Ryan Braun 1 for 3 tonight. Singled and scored in the 4th inning. He drew a walk back in the 5th. And he takes the first pitch strike.
Well, for the 5th, 6th, and the 8th inning, you had mentioned if they get their leadoff man aboard that they have done damage, and they certainly have. They scored in those innings.
Big chopper hit to short. Valbuena guns it over, pulled Garkle off the bag, but he applies the tag, and that's out number 1. Let's get a look at our Northern Ohio Buick Pontiac GMC performance of the game tonight. J.J. Hardy. Talk about an unlikely source for this award after coming in 1 for his last 32. Had 2 big knocks, couple of ribbies. So he's got 3 hits now in the series. Prince Fielder looks at a ball inside. RBI double back in the 4th. He had the big grand slam last night.
Well, this is a situation where at least Perez has an opportunity to come back and see if he can get him out tonight. The pressure's not there. There's nobody on. Just for his own confidence to come back and get the job done. He jumped on the very first pitch. It was a slider, sort of like a get-me-over slider. And, boy, he hit it hard.
Now the 2-1 delivery. That's rifled into right field. And a 1-out single for Prince Fielder will bring up Corey Hart. Fielder has been on 3 times tonight. Corey Hart is 1 for 4. He doubled and scored in the 6th inning. Fires a fastball in there for strike 1. High and foul off to the right side. He was an 11th round pick of the Brewers back in 2000. Native of Bowling Green, Kentucky, makes his home now in Goodyear, Arizona.
No kidding.
How about that?
Well, the Brewers train in Maryvale. But, boy, you know, I haven't heard of Goodyear before we started the train out there. Have you?
Swung on and missed. Corey Hart strikes out. 2 down here in the 9th. Second strikeout for Rafael Perez. Well, I don't know for how long he's been a resident of Goodyear, but the way the economy's gone, you can probably get a pretty good deal.
I'm sure you can.
There was so much building going on out in Arizona, and it all ground to a halt.
Well, foreclosures, I'm sure.
There's Mike Cameron again already. Seemed like he was just up. He had the big RBI triple in the 8th inning. That turned a 4-3 game into a 5-3 game, and then 2 runs later, the Brewers had really taken command. And that RBI triple for Cameron snapped an 0 for 16.
Well, they had a few guys coming into this series that were really scuffling. Hardy, Cameron. There was a few guys.
Well, Bill Hall.
Yeah.
And that's 4 guys right there in their lineup that had some big 0 for numbers. Perez thought he had strike 3. Now the 1-2. That's rifled into left field. Cameron's got hits in his last 2 at bats. 2 on and 2 out. And now Matt Gamble, who is 1 for 3 on the night, will step to the plate. Foul tip for strike 1. Matthew Lawrence Gamble was born in Jacksonville, Florida. 4th round pick back in 05. Quickly, the count goes to 0-2. Picked up his first career major league hit with a pinch hit double off Chris Young of the Padres. Able to lay off the ball in the dirt. Two on, 2 out here in the 9th inning. 7-3. Milwaukee leads it. And Rafael Perez with a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He got the strikeout. And the inning is over. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Tribe down 4. Bottom of the 9th inning. Shin-Soo Choo, Ryan Garko, Travis Hafner due up for the Tribe. Carlos Villanueva will try to finish up for Milwaukee. He allowed the 1 hit in the 8th inning. Shin-Soo Choo has had a good night, 2 for 3 with a walk. He has singled and doubled. 4 hits in the series now for Choo. And he looks at ball 1 up high. Called strike 1-1. And Choo with a line drive single up the middle.
Well, Choo just continues. He's been on base 4 out of the 5 times tonight. The Indians now with 9 hits. He has 3 of them. So he's really working the center of the field now and the other way. And boy, he stays on that ball a little bit longer. So Shin-Soo Choo continues his hitting surge.
Tribe down 4 runs here, so they need base runners. Ryan Garko, 1 for 3, steps in. And Garko with a ball that's nabbed by Fielder, and boy, what a play by Big Prince Fielder as he took a hit away from Ryan Garko.
Well, and that's a second nice play in as many innings to take the Indians, to take a very valuable out away. Look at, he's diving on the ground. That's a base hit. You have 2 base runners aboard, and boy, he makes a nice play and just says, let me get an out. He didn't get up and try and do something stupid. Just take the sure out. That's a good play. Cameron did that last inning off DeRosa.
We talked about it earlier, the Alltel text poll question about the 4 first basemen in the National League. All 4 of them, not only are they good offensive players, but they all do a terrific job defensively, too, when you think about Adrian Gonzalez and Pujols, Prince Fielder. Who was the other one? Ryan Howard.
Yep. Howard, because he can definitely hit. Defensively, he's not as good as the other ones, but
Indians still looking for a hit with a runner in scoring position tonight. 0 for 14.
Yeah, they've left 12 runners stranded.
You see Hafner voicing his displeasure with C.B. Buckner. He'd take a number. That ball is smoked. Deep right field and gone. Hafner with a line drive home run to right field. A 2-run shot. His 7th home run on the year. And it gets the Indians to within 7-5.
How big are those 2 plays now? You look back on it, boy, 2 important outs late in the ball game that they make defensively. Hafner comes back up and brings him that much closer. That's his 7th home run, and this was a line shot. This is going to be our Pepsi home run replay right down the line. That didn't have time to hook foul.
I think he was just so mad at C.B. Buckner he took it out on that pitch.
He certainly did. That ball was screaming on the way out. That's like in the old cartoon.
Yeah. Two-run game now. 1 out here. Bottom of the 9th inning. Jamie Carroll. Tribe needs a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Oh, 0-2 the count. And Villanueva's pitch is swung out and missed. 2 down. I'll bring up Ben Francisco, who has had a tough night, 0 for 4, and 0 for his last 14 overall. And a curveball in there for a strike. Nothing into the count. Villanueva 1 strike away now. From giving Milwaukee a win in the series. We'll wrap this series up tomorrow night with David Huff against Jeff Suppan. 7 o'clock. You'll see it right here on Sports Time Ohio. Able to lay off. Ball was down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Indians looking for a base runner to try and get that tying run to the plate. The 2-2 pitch is a ground ball hit to third. Hall has it, throws him out, and the Brewers have won the first 2. 7-5 the final score tonight. Brewers 7 runs on 12 hits, no errors, 9 men left. Indians 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors,